Okay, it is UK Coffee Week, so this week it's all things coffee. I'm joined here by Adam from Glasgow. Adam, welcome. Thanks for joining me. We're going to have a bit of a chat about coffee making accessories. Before we jump into that conversation, why don't you introduce yourself, do a bit of a plug of your Instagram channel, and then we can crack on with things.
Yes, hi, thanks very much for having me. So my name's Adam. My Instagram page is AdamsCoffeeGlasgow. Over on there, I make a bunch of content relating to coffee education, also make some funny coffee sketch videos. In general, I just kind of document the sort of coffee community here in Scotland and advocate for that and sort of the wider community in the UK and beyond as well, really. Also, I work in our coffee roastery for Deer Green Coffee Roasters. Over there, I work as a barista trainer, so making sure all of our customers and anyone that really wants training can come by and get clued up on how to make amazing specialty coffee.
Brilliant. Yeah. I think we're definitely in safe hands. You know what you're talking about. Yeah, I started following you a few months back, and yeah, your content is both informative and also at times very entertaining.
Thanks.
So thank you. Cool. So yeah, we're going to talk about a few coffee making accessories today. Obviously, a lot of us will buy or perhaps win bean to cup coffee machines, and really start getting into coffee making at home in a proper way. And the machines off the shelf, they come with everything you need to make a start, but you can really start refining your technique with additional accessories. I don't have any of these additional accessories myself just yet, but I'm starting to learn a bit more about them and can see why they're useful. So what I'm going to do, Adam, ask you about a few of them, and you can tell us what they are, why they're
Yeah.
useful, and I guess how they help level up your coffee making experience at home.
Yeah, let's do it. Fire away.
Perfect, mate. So why don't we start with the bottomless portafilter? Bean to cup
Yes.
coffee machines, they come with portafilters, generally not bottomless ones. So why would someone want a bottomless portafilter? What does it give you that I guess, standard factory one wouldn't?
Mhm. So there's two main things. Well, there's two or three actually main reasons why you would want a bottomless portafilter instead of a normal spouted portafilter. One of the best ones is while you're learning, because of the bottomless aspect of it, when you tamp down your coffee and then you pull your shot, you can actually look at the bottom and you can see the coffee extraction. Now, while you're learning how to tamp coffee, if you've done it incorrectly, you might see coffee coming out of one side instead of the other, and that is an indicator to you that you've tamped unlevel. And so then you can sort of use that and go back and fix it in the next shot. Another advantage of it as well, essentially, well, of course, that it looks really nice. You can get those like nice shots and stuff. But it's also easier to clean. You don't have to sort of get in and clean the spouts. You just pop the basket out super easy, and it's pretty much just a simple wipe and it's done.
That's brilliant. You know what? That uneven flow is something that I get with my coffee making, with the spouted portafilter. And I always just assumed, to be honest, that it was normal and that sometimes it just comes out one side first or faster, and never actually gave it any thought to wonder if maybe something was not quite right. So that's really useful to know, and yeah, probably worth me investing in a bottomless portafilter.
Yeah, keeps you on your toes.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's move on to the WDT tool. Again, I need to profess some ignorance here. I don't even know what WDT stands for. I've got a rough idea what the tool itself is for, but why don't you introduce it to us and yeah, tell us what it stands for and what it's used for.
Yeah, of course. So the WDT is named after it's the Weiss distribution technique, and essentially what this tool is a distribution tool. So it allows you to move the grounds around inside your coffee basket in order to make sure they're evenly distributed throughout the entire basket. So it's the most efficient tool for doing that, and that's going to allow you to then get the most level tamp as well. in combination with that, sorry. And then as a result, you're going to be able to get consistent results every single time you make a shot. If you're not using a distribution tool, what you can often find is some areas of the basket can be quite dense with coffee and other areas could be quite weak. So that means when your water blasts onto the top of the puck when you're pulling a shot, it's going to avoid those dense areas and it's going to go through the weak areas because coffee takes the path of least resistance, right? And then what that can result in is a defect when making espresso known as channeling, and that leads to over and under extraction in your espresso. And essentially you're going to have a combination of both bitter flavors and sour flavors, and you're going to sort of miss that nice balance, that sweet balance between both of those together. So that tool helps you improve your consistency.
Interesting. Yeah. Again, something which I've noticed when making my own coffee at home. Sometimes when you knock the puck out, half will crumble quite easily and the other half won't, and it won't. And I assume that's because it's the grinds aren't evenly distributed. So when I'm tamping, as you say, one part's getting a lot more pressure applied than the other, and the coffee or the water is then running through one side of the puck a lot easier than the other.
Yeah, that's also why the bottomless portafilter is good as well, again, because again, it can also identify that issue.
Okay, so let's move on to tamping, Adam. When I tamp, I tend to pop the tamp in the portafilter and kind of just lean into it and apply as much body pressure as I can. I understand that that's probably not the best technique. And that there are actually tamps out there which are calibrated to help you get it effectively just right. Do you want to tell us a bit about calibrated tampers and why they're useful?
Yeah, so there's a few different types of tamper on the market. You've obviously got the normal standard tamper. You've got your sort of precision tampers with the piston inside or the spring, and then you've got calibrated ones as well. And they kind of give you the best of everything essentially. So they've got that spring inside that will apply a certain amount of force on the coffee grounds, so that you're essentially applying the same amount of force every single time. So you're removing that variable in the coffee making process, because as we know, if you tamp too lightly, you're going to leave lots of air for water to go through, and your shot's going to run fast. And on the other hand, if you do tamp really, really hard, there's a chance you could potentially choke the basket, and then you're not going to get much espresso coming out, and you'll have to do it again. So that just completely eliminates that, so that you know that if there is a problem, it's probably something to do with your grind size instead. Not only that, but the calibrated tamper here has a small guard on the bottom of it. So what that does is it ensures that the tamper goes down completely level and avoids any slopes being compressed into the bed. Again, eliminating that over and under extraction due to the channeling.
Alrighty. Finally, I wanted to ask you about puck screens. It's something that I've seen on your Instagram channel and on others. And I've never really been sure what exactly it's doing. So obviously we've ground our beans, we've popped them in our portafilter, we've given them a nice even tamp, maybe distributed them first, and then I see someone pop a puck screen on top. What's that puck screen doing? Why is that helpful?
So puck screens initially came out as a way to basically keep the group head clean. So obviously the part that you put the portafilter into can often result in the puck sticking to it or getting grounds in and around it. That will usually still happen, but a puck screen can keep it really clean, and it just makes the puck a lot easier to bang out of the handle as well, because essentially it becomes more of a solid shape of like almost similar to like a hockey puck, or like they're really dense. You've also got newer ones on the market as well that are a little bit thinner, and what they do is they actually help disperse the water from the group head through the screen and then over the puck, and again that's leading to more consistency and even flow of water. So again, it's just basically all these tools in conjunction really just help you be more consistent, and it means that you're less likely to mess up with these areas in your puck preparation, and the issues that you can focus on are dialing in your grind size and extraction time and your coffee dose and water amount, those sort of variables instead.
Mate, that's really helpful. Yeah, good. So I guess the keeping a clean group here was the obvious answer, but yeah, clearly there's a bit more nuance to it there as well. So that's been really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, I use them for the cleaning of the group head for sure.
Yeah.
Less work,
Less work. Yeah, I'm all about that. Right. So it sounds like with all of these tools, consistency is really what we're aiming for. Adam, thank you so much. Look, I know there are a bunch of other tools out there which we could have talked about as well. So perhaps we loop back around in a couple of weeks and have a chat about some other bits and pieces
Oh, of
that
course.
would be helpful. One that springs to mind is scales and measuring out your coffee beans and indeed how much coffee you're pouring, and that probably warrants a video in and of itself.
Well, for
But
sure.
yeah, thank you so much, mate, for the conversation today. That's been really informative for me and hopefully everyone else watching.
Yeah, no problem at all. Thank you very much for having me.
Have a great evening. Cheers, mate.
See ya.